I'm really excited to share with you guys a lot of the stuff we're going to share today, but what we're going to do is just start from the very basics. I'm going to keep today really focused just on YouTube, organic client lead generation, right? Organic only. I'm not going to talk about ads or any of that stuff. I'm going to try to keep it to about 30 minutes. Those of you guys that have questions, go ahead and type. I'm watching in the chat. We'll keep this conversable, like if that's even a freaking word. But what I want to do is get right on into it because we have a lot to cover. So ask questions in the chat along the way. But here's what I'm going to get at, and I'm going to get right into it, is because if you do not see this, you don't know and why you're motivated to create videos. Let's be honest. None of us want to get up every morning and create a bunch of videos, except me maybe, because I actually have fun doing it. But the average person does not want to do it. I believe you have to be motivated on every aspect to understand why you're creating videos in the first place. And the truth is because the opportunity is gigantic. If you're not going to do this right now, somebody else is. And we're going to start with this. First off, when we're talking about YouTube, YouTube's a search engine. This isn't Facebook. This isn't Instagram. Imagine it's the video version of Google. It's really what it is. So what that means for us marketers, for us real estate agents, lenders, whoever, is that we have to create content that people actually search for, not what we think is cool. My biggest mistake I've ever made was creating content that I thought was cool. Mike Cuevas thought was cool. No one gives a shit what Mike Cuevas thinks is cool. What people think is cool is the questions they type into the damn URL or the search bar, right? So lesson number one is that's how you have to start from the YouTube strategy, right? Now, you have to also understand is when you talk about lead generation and people are like, let's go on YouTube versus Facebook. Well, let's think about the consumers on each so that you understand that. When you go to YouTube, it's an intent-based search. You're only seeing the content that you're actually going out of your way to look for, which means that the leads you're going to generate are going to be more qualified. The opposite end of that spectrum is when you're on Facebook or Instagram, and I was like, Facebook, Instagram ads. Well, how are they working for you right now with all of the special ads category? It's a pain in the ass. Zuckerberg sucks. He's making our jobs fucking impossible. So what do we want to talk about is we have to put our message where people are looking for us at, right? So the key here, and this is what people are saying is the gold rush, is because when you own search, you guys. The same people, go ahead and type in any keywords right now. And the people that are ranking at those keywords have been up there for like a year or two. And that alone is the opportunity. I'm calling this the gold rush because the truth is that the more content you have on your YouTube channel around keywords you're trying to rank for, the better chance that you're going to pop up when people are looking for that content. And that's what content marketing is. There's just a tremendous amount of opportunity for this though. The real estate industry has not created the terms yet in many markets that people search for, and that alone is the opportunity. If you see these two little charts right here, this is the stats pre-COVID to give you guys an idea of how much search has increased. It's nuts. I was sort of shocked. I had to double check. I had to double look at it. I looked at it like 5 times. This is pre-COVID and living in Las Vegas, moving to Las Vegas. You could see how many people are typing that in per month. They're typing 30,000, 29,000 here. And when you're looking for keywords, we'll go into it a little bit more detail, but we look for like high search, low competition. So this whole moving to Las Vegas thing is really interesting. But this was before COVID. Let me show you what is now post-COVID. This is just on July 28th, 2020. Living in Las Vegas now is at 170,000 freaking people a month. But moving to Las Vegas is a way better term. People who are typing in moving to Las Vegas, would you guys agree with me that that is an intent-based search? Would you rather have your content pop up in front of people who are looking for a real estate agent, or would you rather have your content pop back up in front of people who are looking for entertainment on Facebook? That is the difference, and that's how you guys want to approach this entire process of looking at content. So it's not about what we think is cool. It's about what people search for. So if you understand the opportunity, there's a tremendous amount of search happening right now. And I believe that if you start by creating the content and you keep your brand in front of it, I think you're going to own that search for just virtually forever. Just don't disappear. So that is why it's such a big deal. Now, let me break down the channel. And why is my image not appearing here? I'm going to have to give you guys another image. I apologize on that. But let me show you a visual of what I mean by what is your YouTube channel, okay? What this image is at the top of a YouTube channel. And here's how I want you to look at a YouTube channel, because a lot of people are like, how do you use it? What do you do? Here's the purpose. So if you were to write a book, you would write a book in text-based format, right? And your book would have a lot of chapters to it, okay? I want you guys to look at your YouTube channel as your book, but there's no text, it's just video. And the very top of your YouTube page is the header. On the header image, it says sort of who you are, how you roll, you have your branding on there, you have what kind of style you are, and you get your personality more or less. Directly below that, there's a thing called a trailer video. The trailer video is usually the first video that you'll see on somebody's channel. And what the trailer video's job is to be like, hey, here's who I am and how I roll. You like me? You want to subscribe? Go ahead. That's it. If you were to create a TV or a movie, how do they launch movies? They launch them through trailers that they put on commercials. So it's really the same concept. You're looking at your entire YouTube channel no differently than it's your book full of videos. And the first video there is your trailer, which is an introduction to your channel, the same way a book has an introduction to that, or a table of contents, if you will. Now, also on YouTube, this image down here was a bunch of, I don't know why they didn't pop up. It's so annoying. Oh, I see, because we're streaming. But you have these things called playlists, and I'll get more into this in a little bit. Playlists are like the chapters of your book. They're nothing more than categories. And then the videos that go underneath the playlist are like the pages that make up the chapter. That's how I want you to really look at it. So let's go a little bit further in terms of playlists, as you can see the image down here. When I say playlists, I like categories. So this is moving to Northwest Arkansas. That's the category. That means all the videos under this topic are going to deal with moving to Northwest Arkansas. So my point of telling you this right now is a lot of people have this thing called procrastination or paralysis by analysis, especially when it comes to content creation. And you can't. You have to just go for it. Yeah, you might not be great right now on video, but who was the very first time they did it? So what is most important is that if you're going to commit to a video and you're going to commit to YouTube, you build out a playlist at a time. And if you're just starting out on your channel, it's going to take some time. I don't know how long. That's the interesting part about this. So you get the big picture of what's happening on YouTube. And I want you to look at it, because the game that you're really playing when you get into content creation is that you're owning search. What I mean by that is that how much would you pay to get your content pulled to the top of a search, whether it's your city name, real estate, or moving to, and all of that, and probably a pretty penny. Well, when you create content organically, it just pops up there organically, but YouTube's not going to show anyone to the top of a search list that doesn't have the authority to be there. That's why consistency is over time is very, very important. So where do we start? Are you guys tracking with me right now? If you guys go ahead and type in the, excuse me, go ahead and type in the chat, and we're going to get into where we start. We're going to start with keyword research. So how many of you guys are familiar with keyword research by show of hands? And you guys know what I mean, because I don't want to bore you guys with content. So I could glance over it, just sort of pull in and see how, what kind of group we have here. So let me give you the brief version of keyword research. Keyword research is things that we do to find out what people type into Google or YouTube in this specific case. What people type into Google is not the same that they type into YouTube. So there are keyword research tools for each and or. But what we want to do is first get general terms that people search for, right? So we want to create a category. The first way we create a category is based upon keyword research. We follow the numbers, in other words, you guys. I see Bob Friel on this call. Bob, first time buyer all freaking day. It's killing it. That's the playlist that we're going to hit next. But if we're looking for real estate agents, the only things that we see playlist wise, moving to, living in, first time buyers, sell house fast. So that means if I wanted to create a playlist of moving to, I'm in Chicago right now, so let me just say moving to Chicago. Here would be the first 5 or 6 videos. Moving to Chicago versus moving to Chicago, city versus suburbs. Moving to Chicago, what's the cost of living in Illinois? Moving to Chicago, the top 3 neighborhoods you have to check out downtown. Moving to Chicago, the top 3 neighborhoods you need to check out in the suburbs. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on, but what I'm going to do is determine and create videos based upon what they are telling me. So let's go look at a couple examples here, and I'll sort of try to key in on some of these. So let's look at the stats. Look at these. Living in Las Vegas. Well, I would go over moving to Las Vegas personally, because you got 137,000 people who search this, and there's no competition or very little for it. This would be harder to rank for. So part of keyword research is not just creating just like random things to look for, but also like, you know, being creative with it. Spend a little time. I love these. I pulled these yesterday because we're looking at new playlists. We're creating new scripts constantly for playlists for these reasons. And look at all the first-time buyer. Bob, this is for you, boy. Look at that. First-time home buyer, 241,000 people. Now, granted, these are national search terms, but if I'm a mortgage broker, I don't care because you could give a loan for virtually anywhere you want. More importantly, Bob, if you're going to run YouTube ads, there's your keyword. This is what we're keywording here. The search is already there, you guys. First-time buyer, great. I would create a first-time buyer course or playlist on my channel. How to buy a house? Well, that's got a lot of search, but it's a little competitive. I'm going to look for something a little less competitive and try to go after that. First-time home buyer tips, hell yeah, that's a playlist. And I would have 6 videos or 8 videos about first-time home buyer tips. Is this making sense, you guys? And what I'm trying to get you in the habit of is planning content creation. And it's very simple. How much house can I afford? Nice one, Bob. I can't get on YouTube right here because it's just on my Prezi. Let's do sell house fast. It's not very competitive. I guarantee if you go do these right now, sell my house fast, 178. I guarantee you if you guys look up, Bob Friel says, how much house can I afford gets 246,000 searches a month on YouTube. Folks, this is what happens when we're on lockdown, okay? When you're on COVID, how many of you guys right now have increased your internet search over the last, how long have we been in this thing? 5 months, 6 months? I mean, it's like Groundhog's Day, right? Well, this is a direct reflection of that. The numbers don't lie. So with search comes opportunity. Everyone's market, virtually United States, that I know they're busy. Virtually everybody. So let's go a little bit further into keywords. Someone just asked in the chat, and I didn't answer your question yet because I was going to give you these tools. The tool I use is a tool called Vidiq, which is specifically a YouTube search engine. So it's like call it a YouTube SEO search engine, right? So it'll have YouTube specific statistics. Keyword research in YouTube is different than on Google because think about it. What you would type into YouTube as a consumer is different than what you would type into Google as a consumer. So what I like to do is I like to use a combination of these right here. I'm going to give you guys a really easy formula to pick out your next 3 or 4 or 5 videos. So I use Vidiq. TubeBuddy very similar to it. I'm not as familiar with it. I just been using Vidiq for longer, but I hear great things about it. So either or, it is a paid subscription. So if you're going to want the right tools, cost you a couple bucks. I pay $10 a month for Vidiq because I only use the keyword research, but you could get $49 a month if you want more assistance. Now, so what I do is I start here. I do everything here, and I just heard like a huge thing fall, but sorry about that. I start here. I start Vidiq and I look for search. So I'll look for a search term like moving to San Diego that has a really high search. Then from there, I will start typing that keyword into YouTube. YouTube's going to give me a bunch of suggested results. And honestly, these are the first 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos I should be doing because YouTube is telling me, they're just confirming what the keyword research said. Does that make sense, you guys? And go to YouTube right now and type it in. You're going to get a bunch of search results. Those who are in smaller areas are going to get less suggestions, but those who are in larger cities, you're going to get more suggestions. So this gives me moving to San Diego, California. That's one video. Moving to San Diego with no money. And I don't know, as a real estate agent, you want to create that video. But moving to San Diego alone, here are the top 3 best neighborhoods for single people. Right? You moving to San Diego, pros and cons? Moving to San Diego from NYC? Yeah, winter sucks. You're going to love the sand here. Great. But the point is, moving to San Diego in 2020 keywords have been looking pretty good lately. But the truth is that there isn't a 100% right answer. Do it this way, do it this way, do it that way. If there is, I don't know it yet. I just know that we create a lot of content around keywords and our videos pop up. It's as simple as that. If you want to be recognized and seen on YouTube, create a lot of content that tells YouTube you are the person whose videos they should show on YouTube. So a lot of this stuff is common sense, you guys. We get so bogged down by the minutia of things, but that's why I brought this case study. Now, don't always rely on keyword research either. Like I said, I can't predict the future. I don't know what the hell YouTube is going to put up the top of their search or whatever. I have no freaking idea. So here's a case study we did moving into Northwest Arkansas with one of our guys, Eric Eby. And this one was really interesting because of what I'm about to show you. So following what I just told you, let's go through the process in actual practicality and actuality. So here's step one. So I do the keyword research on living in Northwest Arkansas, moving to Northwest Arkansas. And you'll notice that these have zero search, but what did have search was Northwest Arkansas, and there really wasn't a lot of competition. So we still went with both of these different playlists because the keyword's in there. But you don't see a ton of search right here. Well, when I went further and I go, okay, let me just see what YouTube's going to go ahead and suggest to me. Go ahead. You guys could type it in right now yourself. You're not going to see any suggestions. So I'm like, fuck, what kind of videos are we going to shoot? Will this work for him? I don't know. Let's find out. Well, here's the case study. And you'll see this happen, right? And like I said, I don't know the YouTube like algorithms and all the different things, right? So what I do know though is that we create a playlist and we start creating keywords underneath it. And typically what people will say, if you follow a lot of people on YouTube, they're going to say, hey, this thing's probably going to take, you start to see results. YouTube gives it 1 to 2 months to sort of analyze and see sort of if your content deserves to be taught up. So right about 2 months, this thing started kicking. He started getting 800 views, 1,000 views, 1,200 views. And now this thing's kicking. And then these videos are just feeding each other. This last week, and I pulled this yesterday just to give you guys accurate, up-to-date slides, but this last week was only at 3,400. So his views are climbing. Well, Eric is now on his 4th or 5th client. These aren't leads, these are clients. And why do clients attract so much off of YouTube? Well, it's because people do business with agents they know, like, trust first, foremost. Video is your damn resume. People aren't hiring you because of what you can do or you have a real estate license. They're hiring you because of how you do it with your real estate license, because your personality and your content is 100% probably the most important part beyond the keywords. Just creating videos, if they're boring, will they work? Probably not. So you do have to have an entertainment factor. You should have some like scripts planned out. You should have this stuff sort of pre-planned so that you're not, you don't just sit there and don't do anything, more or less, or your videos look just, you have awkward times, between them, because it's a direct reflection of your brand. Now, when people call you off YouTube, they feel like they already know you. And those of you who are already generating leads, you know that. But the reason for that is the same reason what video does for any bit of marketing, whether it's on YouTube, your website, Facebook, or whatever. It allows people to get to know you. All Eric's doing in this is positioning himself as a local tour guide, which is all real estate agents really are, in my opinion. I think we're just positioning wise, we're tour guides. We should be the experts of our local community. And what happens here is that on YouTube, this is a visual search. I moved to San Diego, 3 years ago now. I'm in Chicago today. My mom's not doing too well in the hospital, fortunately. But when I moved there, I never visited where I live now, which is in Encinitas. What I ended up finding out was I was logging onto YouTube because I wanted to see, I'm like, what do houses in Southern California look like? I'm coming from Chicago. I live in a concrete jungle. I've never seen a backyard. Yeah, I'm going to have a palm tree in my yard. I got to see this stuff visually. So I found myself typing into YouTube to try to get the visuals so I could sort of get the perception of the space. And that's the exact same thing that happens here. Folks, put yourselves in the shoes of the consumer and create content for that as a consumer. Quit selling your stuff. You don't need to. Start adding value by serving others and giving them the information that they want. This is content marketing. Any questions on this? All right. Okay, so let's go further into optimization. And don't worry, guys, we're going to try to end in about 15, depending on how long I get through it. And I want to keep this short and sweet and get right to the point, no fluff. So here's our optimization checklist. How do you get your videos to rank? You can't just record a video and then just post it. It doesn't work that way. You got to SEO it, if you will. So I'm going to walk you through the exact process. Very first thing is you got to optimize the title. If you notice right here, your keywords should match. They have to be in the title if you want them to rank. Otherwise, you're not telling Google on how to, or YouTube on how to put your content for the people looking for it. So the other thing that works really well are like listicles, cost comparisons. So think of living in Chicago versus the city versus suburbs. I had a guy on my podcast from SEM Rush. SEM Rush is one of the top search engine keyword research tools. It's an awesome product. And he was the head nerd. And what his job was is like, I nerd out on all the keyword research. I see what's happening. I see what ranks Google up and what does this. And here's what he told me. And it matched up for what I'm seeing on YouTube. And this is probably about 6 months ago. We had him on the show. Here's what he says. He goes, hey, Mike, here's how YouTube classifies and dictates their search. Like, here's what they like. They like cost comparisons. They like listicles, top 3, top 4, top 5. They like verses. They like pros and cons, and they love things that talk about costs. So think about that in your headlines and your content creation, folks. Focus all of your content on those 4 things in one way, shape, or form. And you have a better chance of ranking up. Have you ever been in the grocery store and you're sitting there in the aisle, especially nowadays, everyone's 6 feet apart. So you got to like wait till they're totally done before you move on up, which means you're stuck staring at the magazines that are right to your left like this. Well, when you look at those magazines, some of them draw your eyes. And I want you to look at one thing they all have in common, and it's all copywriting. It's all headlines that draw our eyes over there. It's like Brad Pitt just got a second divorce. 2 divorces? Or Angelina Jolie and her blah, 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 blah. But they're listicles. And what that does is that sells the click, is what they'll tell you in marketing. You got to sell the click. So make your title sexy. Make me want to watch it, right? Very, very important. And you want to make this more towards the front end of that. Now let's go into optimize the description. You can see the description. This is nothing crazy, but you should re-optimize the keyword right off the bat right here. And in this top description right here, all we're doing is just sprinkling the keyword around a couple times. They'll tell you, I don't know what the rules are, honestly. We see different results across all fronts as we're doing this for so many people. But what I do know is that I like to aim for like 3 to 4 different times, give or take. And a lot of this copy we put at the end of here are just, we copy and paste on every video. So once you build your, like, here's our contact list, here's my Instagram page, subscribe to my channel here, here's all of our playlists, here's some other channels or other content you might want to see on Northwest Arkansas. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. This is always copy and pasted, and the only thing we ever have to rewrite is the top. All right. So that would be the description. If I want to pop up for moving in Northwest Arkansas, I need to tell YouTube also in description, I need to move to Northwest Arkansas. Number 3 is going to be your tags and then your thumbnail, and then you're done. So there's a thing called tags, just like a blog post, if you guys are familiar with that. And with tags, what we do is you want to create a bunch of just different keywords that are going to be around that term. When you have a tool like Vidiq or TubeBuddy, they'll assist you almost and say, hey, put this tag in, do this, do that. And that's why people use those tools, because there's really not a lot of guesswork associated with them. You just follow the instructions. Like, this isn't rocket science. This is just a process, right? That is repeatable every time based upon data. That's all this is, folks. Does this make sense on just like a scale? And let me go ahead and stop right here for a couple questions before we get into multi-purpose. Let me go ahead and see. If you guys don't mind, type those into the chat, because I might unmute you guys and you might have your kids screaming in the background. Everyone's getting mad at me. So type it into the chat, please. If I don't see anything, I'm going to keep on going. Yes, Renee, this will absolutely be on recording. I'll put it on my YouTube channel. I'm streaming this live to YouTube, and the search term I'm using for this stream is YouTube for Realtors. And YouTube is giving live feeds more priority, which is why I'm streaming live on YouTube right now. And the keyword YouTube for Realtors gets 130 or 160,000 searches a month. So I'm doing it right now as I'm doing this webinar, which is part of my reason why I'm having this webinar. It's all marketing, guys. It's all value, value, value. So Jessica asked a question. So Jessica, should we start with the entire city, county, or just our specific community? 100%. If you don't know what the hell your strategy is, you're already losing. You have to sit down and think about this. That's the only reason why we even exist. We tell people what to do, but it all depends on your end goal. So what is your end goal? Is your end goal to pick up seller leads? Is it to build your brand? Is it to build a brand in the local community? Is it to generate leads? Is it to do this? You have to be very specific. There's no such thing as one strategy that is universal for all. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. Which ad is going to do more better on a video right now? Check this one out. I've been in the business for 25 years and you can trust me. Fuck that. No one's going to listen to that. No one's going to watch that. But something like this would be like, are you going through a divorce? I get going through a divorce is extremely difficult. But the good news is that there's a way out. And here's how you get her. Here's how you sell your house and take the whole damn house with it or away from him. That's a specific video to a specific action to a specific seller. You have to be specific. The generalists resonate with nobody. The riches are in the niches, and the riches and the niches within the content are the ones that get found. You have to answer a specific question, and each video should answer one question. This is not about creating one video to check every box for the rest of your video career. It doesn't work that way. This is about having a video strategy that you can use week in, week out, month in, month out, because of what I'm about to tell you. The end goal for the channel or the playlist? The end goal is your personal brand. So I think I'm going to answer your question right now with that, Samantha. This is what I advise everybody on doing. Folks, we have to change our mindset. If you're a salesperson chasing leads, your time in this business, I believe, is limited, because how is lead generation, cold calling, and traditional prospecting methods working out for a lot of people right now? The majority of us hate doing that shit. Am I wrong? Like, if you're good at cold calling, God bless you. Truth is, most of us aren't. We don't like doing that stuff. But the same way consumers made a decision back then is the same way they make it now. They're just getting their information from different sources. So you have to see the big picture. So what I tell people is this, and this is my advice when you look at YouTube. Don't start creating videos just for YouTube. If you do that mentally, you already lost the race. Because the truth is that your videos on YouTube might take 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months to see any results. It could take 2 years. I have no idea. You create content to build your personal brand, and then you multi-purpose it for YouTube in that order, in that way. Because at the end of the day, the personal brand is the thing that attracts business, regardless of what it is. And the more content you have, the bigger your brand grows, because it's a giant game of attention. So here's what you do with every video to maximize it. You make sure you get those results, to make sure you build the brand. Because what happens when you start creating a lot of attention around your brand, things that never would have happened without it start to happen. I know people with a very strong personal brand that have been offered percentages of companies because of their personal brand. And if you guys want to listen to a really good podcast coming out in about 3 weeks, this kid's a 24-year-old multimillionaire, did it with all of his personal brand. So do this for your personal brand, and this is why. While you're building your YouTube channel, 10 to 15% of the people who see your content will be moving this year. 100% of the people see your content will have someone they can refer you to. And the truth is that 72% of people will close with the first agent they meet with. Top of mind brand awareness is the entire damn business. Doing video consistently just makes you more memorable and referable. Think about it. The agent that's doing what I'm about to show you, well, I'll come back and I'll wrap that up. The agent that's more seen out there gets more results. There are more opportunities, because this is a giant game of conversations. Lead generation is nothing more than a conversation waiting to be happen. These start conversations. Content creates engagement. Engagement creates conversation. Conversation creates trust. Trust creates getting hired and getting paid, period, in that order. Done. So what kind of content should I create for YouTube? I don't care. I care that you focus on your personal brand, and then you multi-purpose it secondary in that order, because once you start creating content people search for, it's only going to be a matter of time. But each of you are going to have different results, because each of you have different markets, and those all have different search, right? So there's a lot of different strategies. It's just hard for me to say without knowing where you're located in the country and what you're doing, because the answer is going to change for every single person on this call. So create content people search for, not what you think is cool. Don't start by creating videos just for YouTube. Don't make that. This is why I'm doing this. This is just a cherry on top. The truth is your personal brand, multi-purpose everything else differently. And the series that are almost universal across the United States are moving to, living in, first-time buyer tips, mortgage, Chicago real estate. Do a little bit of keyword research and just start doing it. Just don't overthink it. So what do we do with every video? Even though we're planning on putting this on YouTube, we got to look at multi-purposing. Multi-purposing is the whole damn thing, because while we're building our YouTube channel, we're generating referrals and attention around our brand to get other business and opportunities that wouldn't have otherwise existed. When you're doing your videos, you got to put them on all your social media channels. It's obvious. Don't put them on just your business page. Put them on your business page and your personal page. Put it on your Instagram. Put it on your LinkedIn. The people that you're connected with on social are nothing more than future sales. The average consumer buys 3 to 4 houses over the course of their lifetime. And depending on your market, the average time someone spends in their house is literally a matter of 6 to 9 years, statistically across the US. You need to know that for your market. When I was in Chicago, that market was 3 to 5 years in the city, 6 to 9 in the suburbs. People lived in their properties for less time in the city than they do in the suburbs. Makes a lot of sense. Really confined condo living versus single family, white picket house with a dog, call your life a day type living, okay? So when you're doing your videos, you're not just putting them on your YouTube channel. Let me show you a case study. The biggest mistake I see all the time is this. Everyone's just posting on their business page. Dude, no one hangs out on your damn business page. You're not that freaking cool. That's the truth. At the end of the day, a business page, another guy in my podcast, there's a freaking beast. I didn't know it was this low. He just confirmed with me. 3 to 5% organic reach. That means if you have 100 likes on your page, 3 to 5 people see it. You're not going to generate business from that. Your business page is to run ads. That's it. Look, she still did good. 1,300 views on a business page. She actually has 5,000 likes on her business page. How'd she get 5,000 likes? Well, she's adorable on video. Well, let's look at the same video, same content, same headline, everything. On her personal page, got 52 comments and 3 shares. I don't know what she did on Instagram. I don't know what it did on LinkedIn. But all of these different people, out of those 52 comments, 10 to 15% of them, which technically is about 5 to 7 transactions just in the comments. You have to play the numbers. None of this is theory on what I'm telling you. All of this is mathematical. This business is not hard. But if you're a realtor that no one knows what you do, it could be. Website. Every video you create, put it on your website. You're multi-purposing the content the same way. Think of the same playlist series that you're doing on YouTube and multi-purposing those playlist series on your website as categories under blogs. Would you hire yourself if you visited your website right now? I want you to do an honest assessment of yourself. Be honest. Did you ever book the vacation on Travelocity that didn't have any reviews? Did you ever go to the restaurant that had 1 star or 5? Well, what do you think people think about when they go on your website? Your about page on your website is the most visited page on somebody's site. Why do you think that is? It's because people want to see who the hell you are and see if they trust you and like working with you. So the truth is the videos on your website don't have to sell real estate. They have to sell your personal brand and your trust. Are you more likely to do business with someone that you saw a video of or you got a text message from? Again, just think of how our minds work as a consumer and put yourself in the same shoes. Nobody hires you for what you do, but they hire you for how you do it. And no one remembers what you do. They remember how you do it. Just because you have a license in your pocket doesn't give you, doesn't mean that you're going to kill it. It just gives you the legal right to collect money to sell a house in the States, right? But people still have to hire you. And what they remember you by is how you do it. You don't believe me, Valerie here will walk into a conference, even in the real estate industry, and she'll be like, oh, you're that lady on that video. Oh, you're the video lady. I don't care how people remember me, folks. I just care that I'm remembered, because the more attention I have, the more business I'm going to do, period. So put multi-purposes on your websites. We like to write blog posts to go with it. Email. I love video email. I used it from, how many of you guys use BombBomb? I was one of BombBomb's like first 50 subscribers. This was in 2012. And right off the bat, I'm like, this is an awesome product. Because I already knew my emails were sucking. Like, people don't want any turn back the clock emails. They really don't. They don't want any crap content. Like, you don't have to sell your database. You shouldn't. Would you sell your spouse? If you went out every single day and talked to your database about work or your friends about work, like, imagine your top 5 friends. If all you do every day is just go out and talk about work and real estate and loans, like, I'm sorry, they're going to stop calling you and asking you out for beers because you're too damn boring. Well, you shouldn't talk about your real estate with your database either. You don't have to. You just have to stay relevant. 80% of buyers forget their agent's name after 6 months. That's why we have an 87% failure rate in this business. Only reason. You're chasing leads, not nurturing relationships. So one of the ways you do that is the content you create, send it to your database. We've seen over a 40% open rate. This isn't a huge list. 89 people, 74 got delivered, but I got 46 opened. I could care less. on the size of your list. Your database and the size of it is irrelevant. What's relevant is the number of people that actually know who the hell you are and listen to what the fuck you say, period. Making sense, folks? This is all attention based. Now, let me come back to what I started with. If I were the agent that is publishing their content on social media, side by side with their YouTube channel, putting it on their website, video email into their database, they're everywhere all the time. They have more attention. So why I'm sharing this with you is because if you're going to start doing videos, maximize it. Don't just do videos to check a box because Tom Ferry told you to do so. Do videos that build your personal brand and actually have an end goal, because that end goal is the brand, right? Let's go into common objections that I see, and then we're going to open this up for Q&A, and I'll get this done right after that. So you guys can start typing in your questions you have. Scripting videos, how do you do it? There's no shortage of content to create. You're going to see on the screen here a bunch of just different scripts. My purpose when I create content is I'm going to create a category at a time. So as you see in the example here, if I want to create a seller series, I know what my next 6 or 8 videos are going to be. Therefore, I could just shoot them, knock them out, and I go on to the next series. The biggest problem people have with this is structure, time management, consistency. What comes first? What comes there? What comes this? Folks, keep this simple. You're writing a book, a page at a time, a video at a time, okay? That's it. Take it easy. This isn't rocket science. You already know your trade. What's funny to me is everyone gets scared about getting on camera, but you guys don't realize that you're the one who controls if anyone sees your videos. Therefore, while you're shooting it, you shouldn't be shy. Second thing is that when people ask me, how do I say this? And I just say, well, let's just say I was doing a top 3 neighborhood video. If me coming in Chicago, from Chicago, call one of you guys up, say, hey, I'm coming in your market. I'm going to spend $1 million, but I need you to go over to Wicker Park. But what's it like living around Wicker Park? Are you going to think about how to answer that question? Nope. Well, you shouldn't think about how to answer that question just because you have a cell phone camera in front of you. Never in the history of the United States or the world has this little mini device been able to make a 250-pound man buckle at the knees. Why is that? It's just because it's new, folks. It's not hard. That's it. All right. So when it comes to scripts, what you want to do is focus on a series at a time. You're going to answer the questions that the keyword research is going to show. And if you guys need scripts, either hire a real estate marketing dude, buyer scripts. I have scripts for every freaking thing you can imagine. You'll die before you run out of stuff to say. So beyond that, know what you're going to say and plan a playlist is my point. Now, editing your videos. Do you need to get your videos edited? I believe you do. There's different types of videos. Facebook Live is not a video strategy. If you want to build a brand, it's not a video strategy. So I'm not saying don't do Facebook Lives. I think that all goes in line with it. It's all one thing. But if you need people to edit your videos, here are the options that I see most people using. One, we would love your business. We script, edit, distribute your videos. We're like your video coach. This isn't about me though. Find a local video editor in your market if you want it, if you need someone there. You know how many editors are out there? Where do you think I hire my editors from? The college kids are crazy. You could go into a university right now and find an internship to do your videos, probably for very not that expensive. But you're gonna have to train them and tell them like, here's what I want, here's how I do. The problem the editors have, an editor also isn't a videographer, is what you'll see too. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're the same person, but they're different personalities. So most videographers will also edit the video for you, but that's usually where they stop. They don't have the scripts, they don't have a lot of that stuff. But if you're shooting listing videos and your strategy is just to add listings, that's all you need. You don't need a bunch of other services. So the truth is that how many videos you're going to do and what your strategy will determine on who you hire around to help to get it done for you. Fiverr, I've seen a couple. And DIY, do it yourself. Some people like editing. Me, not my thing. I hate editing. I think it's like freaking non-money making activity. So I don't think any agent or lender should ever do it. But if you like doing it, awesome. So let's talk about time management, because this is also the thing. This is what we're doing with a lot of our clients. So content creation is what you have to do is look at it as modern day prospecting. So I'm not sure of how many years some of y'all been in the business here, but regardless of when you started, the first year, you were trained to time block prospecting, right? What do? You make a date with yourself and then you say, I'm going to keep to it. It's the same thing. Determine how long each video is going to take to complete. Then you block off time. Folks, video content on your personal brand is just as important as your kid's birthday. It's your business. So if you're not going to ditch your kid's birthday appointment, then make this just as important. All that is mindset up here. It sucks getting started. It's new. You're nervous. Like, I got to do a video. I got to do a video. That's why you have to have a strategy you're excited about, though, at the same time. I don't see how anyone spends more than 1 to 3 hours a month. I'm telling you, that's like 2 videos a month. It just depends on what type of content you're going to create. Some people like doing green screen. I love green screen. I use all my education content on green screen. I have a weekly series called Brand You. You guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like the content you saw today, definitely go to my YouTube channel, look me up, Real Estate Marketing Dude, and subscribe to it. And you'll start seeing those videos will be sent to you. And notice how I also asked you to subscribe to my channel. If you don't ask people to subscribe to your channel, you're not going to get any subscribers. Samantha says, I'm going to start answering some Q&A because I'm just about wrapped up on this. We're going to segment in the Q&A and I'll answer any questions. We'll go for about 5-10 minutes until the end, and then we'll go from there. Let me get this first one. It's a really good question. Samantha asks, how many videos are optimal for a series? It's a really good question. I don't know the right answer to it in full transparency, but we like to see 6 to 10. So let's do the math and reverse engineer it. If you were to build a playlist at a time, and let's just say the number's 8, and you're doing 2 videos a month, that would take you 4 months to end up that playlist. If you want to get that playlist done in 8 weeks, that'd be 1 a week, 2 months. So reverse engineer it. And then how you do that also determines your budget, right? And then you could reverse engineer and find something that works with budget and all the other stuff. Did that answer your question, Samantha? I'm going to bring on some peeps. Anyone want to get on here and do a chat here? Good. And for any of you folks, like I said, subscribe to our channel. I don't have anything to sell you today. So I'm just here to answer questions and show you what's going on. And I don't care who you use. Just literally freaking do it, man. Like, I don't care. Just do it. Do it. All right, Chris. What's up, Chris? You're unmuted. Let's see if he's shy guy or if he's going to come on here.
What's going on, man?
What up, dude? What is your question?
It's not really a question. It's more of a statement, I would think.
Sure. Let it rip.
I watch a lot of your videos, and I kind of have the same exact feelings about branding and lead generation as you. And just I want to say thank you for all the free videos that we get to watch.
Sweet. At least someone's watching them. Actually, you brought up a good point. A lot of times you can't measure your video career off of ego metrics. All right. You just can't. Like, you can't sit there and analyze and overthink about the views or the subscribers, because you just got to get going. When you're starting out a brand new channel, it's not going to happen overnight. Like, it's not going to, it's just not. But the one thing that always works is why I told you guys about the multi-purposing, is that you have to make sure that you multi-purpose all your content so that while you're building your channel, that you're generating referrals, because at the end of the day, you're going to generate more referrals than you will leads on YouTube, in my opinion, if you do it consistently. Plus you have a long-term career that you'll sell. Awesome point. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you, dude.
Yep.
Bob Friel. You guys should follow Bob Friel on YouTube. Bob, I'll give you a little intro because I don't know if you'll do yourself justice because you're too shy to say it. Bob Friel has been creating videos for like, what, 2 years, Bob?
Yeah, for our course, and now we're jumping back into the keyword research that we talked about earlier.
So why don't you, and you didn't really do the YouTube thing at first. You just created videos for your database for a training course you were doing, right? And now you're jumping into YouTube and optimizing, right?
Correct. For the videos that we originally created are just to kind of soften the blow for somebody that's looking to, get a mortgage for whatever purpose, right? So it kind of teaches them the basics, because in our industry, we get the same questions every time. So how can you leverage your time by creating content so somebody would watch, a couple of minutes of a video clip. If they really have questions moving forward, you know what to address in person. So
do you, how did you start with your, for anyone that's like struggling, how did you start with your keyword research and all of this? Because like Bob, you went that deep. Like you started going to conferences, researching stuff, reading books, watching videos, like you did the homework to do it. So what do you give advice for any of these guys?
So I decided like 2 months ago, we're what, eight videos in so far in the editing process, but I decided to basically go on YouTube every day for at least a half hour and just snoop around, see like, because there's quite a few people in our industry doing videos, but I think they're not very informative if you really kind of dive into some of the information, but they're getting thousands of views. So you basically just steal everyone's stuff is kind of my thing.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So what I did is I have 2 whole pages of keyword research, and I have your script.
Are you turning the pages right now? Because I can hear that.
Yeah, I literally just did it. Because I'm actually scripting out some stuff tonight that.
So you're actually taking the time to spend on your content. And this is a really good point, guys. I see, and I'm guilty of this. I'm like a one-hit wonder with videos right now. You can give me a topic and I'll probably crank out a 3 to 5 minute, and I won't even ask to see it. I'm just going to push it through. But the only reason I can do that is because I've practiced over the last 7-8 years. And I know exactly how to script live. But the truth is that if you spend 10 to 15 minutes thinking about what you're going to say, the video that you shoot will get done about 10 times faster. I promise you. Would you agree with that, Bob?
I do. Yeah, I do agree. And then if you, for instance, I recorded last week with a realtor friend here, and we were just like, we just didn't have it, so we were on camera for 20 minutes and we just kept screwing things up. So we just like chopped it off at the knees, said, hey, let's just do it this tomorrow. Right. So like, you're not going to be camera ready every day. You're not going to be just on your game every day. But if we for what we do is we were trying to record every Wednesday. And if we end up recording Thursday, then it is what it is. Right. But having the scripts and just being prepared is hugely beneficial.
Yep. Awesome, dude. Thanks for the insight. Let me get a question here. All right. Question was, all right. Oh, I just saw it. So Jessica asked a question. She's in San Diego. So she's asking, should I do videos directly on my geographic area? She says 2 cities, 2 neighborhoods that she wants to be in. Yes and no, because you're an investor and you're going to be hitting the investor space. We're probably going to do something more like Sell House Fast versus community tours. But if you want to generate real estate sales, then I would recommend more community tours. So this is a perfect example. Jessica is a rehabber. She wants to generate rehab deals. So what do? Let's create content for people who are like upside down in their house and they're freaking going through a hard time, because those are the ones who need it. And those are the ones who are going to have the houses that you want to buy. Yeah. Sellers, probate, distress, 100%. So you want to keep it focused around the content that your end user consumer wants to consume. In my case, it's real estate, marketing, video marketing. The same process that I'm doing with you guys for my own sales process is the same process that we do for our clients. It's all the same thing. The business doesn't matter, because all we're doing with video content is building an audience. And within the audience, there's always someone that's going to buy your shit. That's how it works. Diana Benson. What's up, Diana? If you want to come on, you can, or if you're too shy, we don't have to. But we're going to get everything wrapped up. If you guys want one more, a couple more questions, go ahead and do it. If you guys have any additional questions, please all y'all go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, and also follow us on Facebook. And if you guys want more content on this, I mean, literally visit my site. There's a ton of content on there talking about all of this stuff, from video to attraction to referral marketing. I've been creating for 3 or 4 years. Take the marketing library, subscribe to the podcast. And if any of you guys do need a real estate marketing dude, because you want someone to help you do all this shit for you, then you call us up. You can schedule a demo. And trust me, once you visit my website, I'll retarget you until you either call or block me. So that's it. Oh, we got Diana on. All right, Diana, let's get some closing thoughts. What was your question?
Oh, I didn't have any question. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you rose your hand. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for your attention today. If you have any other questions, anything else we could ever do to help or serve you, please feel free to reach out. You guys know where to find us, realestatemarketingdude.com. That is realestatemarketingdude.com. Folks, create attention around your brand right now, because that's all we have left. And the only way to get face-to-face with anyone within your own database or in your local market, unfortunately, is on video until this COVID problem goes away. So work on that, focus on the brand, play the long game. Appreciate you guys. We out.